Dear listener, before we begin, I invite you to settle in. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath slow down just a little. Feel the room around you gently supporting you, like a quiet friend who asks for nothing in return. Maybe you can hear the soft hum of something nearby, a fan, a heater, the low rustle of nighttime air. Let that sound wrap around you like a warm scarf. You are safe here, you are welcome here, and you are allowed to rest. As you take another easy breath, imagine the lights dimming, just enough to blur the day behind you. Feel the softness settling into your arms, into your legs, into the space between your thoughts. And when you're ready, dear listener, our story today begins. Our story today begins on a snowy night in Paris. Picture yourself standing on a quiet Parisian street, one lined with gentle stone buildings and warm windows that glow like tiny lanterns in the dark. Snow is falling, the slow, thoughtful kind of snow, the kind that drifts rather than drops, swirling in soft circles as if it's trying to dance for you. The air feels cool on your cheeks, but not harsh. It's the kind of cool that wakes you up just enough to appreciate how calm the world is. There is a faint breeze that lifts the edges of your scarf. It's playful, not cold, just a little hush of winter moving past. Every sound feels gentle here. Your footsteps, the distant murmur of a river you haven't yet seen, a window being closed 2 buildings away. Paris has a special way of whispering, even on the busiest days. But tonight, the whole city seems to exhale. You begin walking toward the Seine, where the old lamplights cast halos of gold across the white streets. The lamps glow through the snowfall, creating little circles of light that shimmer as the flakes drift down through them. It feels almost like walking through a dream someone painted with soft brushes. As you walk, you pass a small bakery tucked between 2 tall apartment buildings. The sign above the door is weathered, its paint faded from years of winter, snow, and summer sun, but the windows are fogged from the warmth inside. You can almost smell the fresh bread waiting on wooden trays. A hint of something sweet, maybe vanilla, maybe cinnamon, floats through the tiny crack in the door. The scent lingers in the air around you, relaxing, comforting, like a childhood memory you can't quite name. You keep walking at a slow, wandering pace. There's no need to hurry. Everything here invites you to take your time. The snow thickens a little as you approach the river. You can hear the faint lap of water nudging against the stone walls below the bridges. That sound has a rhythm to it, like a gentle, sleepy heartbeat, steady, soft, reassuring. Ahead of you is one of the smaller bridges, an old one, with ornate iron railings shaped like curling vines. Snow has settled on each curve, outlining every detail. You place your hands on the railing. It is cool to the touch, but the cold feels good, clean, quiet, simple. From the bridge, you can see the river sliding by, darker than the sky above it. Snowflakes land on the water and vanish instantly, melting into tiny ripples. You watch them disappear, one by one, like tiny secrets whispered into the river's ear. Somewhere nearby, a small cafe is still open. You can hear a soft, crackling sound. A fireplace, perhaps, or a candle burning low on someone's table. The sound travels faintly through the winter air, blending with the snow, the river, the muted quiet of Paris at night. You take another breath, slowly, comfortably, the kind of breath that loosens the weight inside your chest, the kind that says it's all right to let go of the day now. You lean on the railing a little, letting your body rest. A warm breeze drifts up from the nearby cafe chimney. It carries with it a delicate scent of wood smoke, not heavy, just enough to remind you of cozy nights, soft blankets, and fireside warmth. A couple walks past behind you, speaking in gentle voices. Their words blur pleasantly, like distant music. You can't understand what they're saying, but it doesn't matter. Their tone is affectionate and soft. It blends beautifully with the snow. The city feels alive, yet peaceful, awake, yet dreaming. And you are part of it, dear listener, resting in the middle of a Paris night that seems designed just for you. If you listen closely, you might hear bells in the far distance, soft ones, not ringing for urgency, but singing for the hour. A slow, measured chime that melts into the snowy air. You close your eyes for a moment. The snow continues falling around you. The river continues whispering. The world feels unhurried, peaceful, kind. You can almost imagine a small journal in your hands, its pages blank and waiting. This night feels like something worth writing down, something worth remembering. Not because anything dramatic is happening, but because nothing dramatic is happening at all. Just quiet, just stillness, just a snowy night in Paris, offering you space to breathe. And now, dear listener, I'd like to share a tiny whisper. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder where in the world you're listening from right now. If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. Now take one more slow breath, let it out gently. We return to the bridge where you stand, watching the snow float down like tiny drifting feathers. Paris glows softly around you, and this calm is yours. The night deepens as you rest your hands on the railing, feeling the steady presence of the old bridge beneath you. Paris seems to slow even further, as if the entire city is pausing to breathe with you. The snow has become finer now, drifting in thin, delicate strands that shimmer in the lamplight. It falls so quietly that you can almost imagine each flake choosing its own path, curving and swirling like tiny dancers guided by the faint winter breeze. You watch them settle onto the rooftops, softening the edges of the world, turning stone lines into gentle slopes, turning the ordinary into something that feels almost magical. The air around you feels crisp, but it touches your skin as softly as a whispered goodnight. You begin to walk again, slowly, crossing the bridge with careful, unhurried steps. Each footstep presses softly into the thin layer of snow, leaving small marks that fade as more flakes settle over them. It reminds you that everything in nature is always being renewed, always being blanketed with chances to rest and start again. As you reach the other side of the bridge, the narrow street ahead curves gently to the left, lined with buildings that seem to tilt slightly inward, like they're leaning close to share a secret. Their shutters are closed for the night, but the warm light seeping through the cracks tells you that life is glowing inside each home. A pot simmering on a stove, a quiet conversation over tea, a cat stretching near a fire. You don't need to see any of it to feel it. The snow continues to fall, brushing your coat, settling in your hair, resting on your eyelashes for just a moment before melting into tiny droplets of warmth. The sensation is soft and quick, a fleeting kiss of winter. You turn down another street, this one lined with bare trees whose branches carry thin patches of white. When the breeze moves through them, the snow shifts in gentle bursts, drifting down in loose clusters that land around you like pieces of a soft lullaby. The branches sway slightly, and the faint rustle they make blends with the quiet city sounds. It feels as though the night has its own song, slow and peaceful, meant just for the few souls wandering Paris under the snowfall. Ahead, you notice a small bookshop glowing warmly from within. The windows are fogged, and the soft yellow light inside creates a haze that makes the shop look like something out of a memory. The shelves, barely visible through the misted glass, appear full and welcoming. A wooden sign hangs above the door, gently creaking as it sways in the light wind. You walk closer, feeling the warmth of the shop reach you even before you touch the door. You don't need to go inside. Just standing here, close enough to feel the heat seeping through the glass, is enough to make your shoulders relax again. You imagine the scent inside, old paper, ink, perhaps a little dust from stories that haven't been opened in years. It's the kind of scent that wraps around you like a blanket. You move on again, letting the night lead you. The street narrows slightly, and the quiet becomes even deeper here. The buildings rise higher on each side, creating a pocket of stillness where the snowfall seems louder, more delicate. You look up, watching flakes gather on the dark roof tiles, tiny white patches forming like little islands in a calm sea. A cat sits on one of the lower windowsills, curled into itself, tail wrapped around its body. It opens one eye when you pass, blinking slowly, then settling again, as if it had only stirred to acknowledge your presence. You smile at this small companion of the night, grateful for the soft comfort of its sleepy posture. As you walk farther, the street opens into a small square. In the center stands an old fountain, now frozen over, its surface cloudy and still. Snow has collected on its edges, forming thick cushions of white that look soft enough to rest on. The lamps surrounding the square cast gentle pools of golden light, and the falling snow drifts lazily through each circle of brightness, glowing softly before disappearing into the shadows again. You take a slow breath, feeling the crispness of the air fill your lungs, and you let it out with a calm that makes your whole body feel lighter. You find a wooden bench near the fountain and sit down, letting the cold wood support your weight. It is firm but comforting, grounding. The snow has gathered on the bench, but only in a thin layer, easy to brush aside with one slow motion of your hand. You sit quietly, watching the snow continue its steady descent. For a moment, nothing moves except the flakes drifting through the lamplight. The square is peaceful, empty, waiting, and you feel a quiet gratitude for being the only one here to witness this stillness. As you sit, you notice the faint sound of a violin drifting from a nearby window. Someone must be practicing, playing slowly, tenderly, each note placed with care. The melody is soft and wistful, floating through the cold air like a ribbon. The sound wraps around the square, weaving gently with the falling snow. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the notes settle inside you. Every sound tonight seems to have a purpose. Every sound seems to help you soften, unwind, feel more at peace. The snow begins to fall a little heavier now, thicker flakes swirling around you in slow spirals. They land on your coat and melt instantly, leaving tiny dots of coolness that fade just as quickly. You watch the flakes gather on the fountain, on the rooftops, on the stone pavement. Everything becomes softer, quieter, gentler. The world feels padded, cushioned, held. The night has wrapped Paris in a blanket, and you too are wrapped in it. You rise from the bench, feeling calm and unhurried, and continue walking across the square. The violin fades behind you as you turn down another street, one that seems to glow faintly even without many lamps. Perhaps it is the reflection of snow on the walls. Perhaps it is simply the warmth of the night settling deeper into the city. You follow the glow, step by quiet step, letting the snow guide you. And so you glide through Paris, dear listener, carried by the gentle hush of winter. You walk slowly into a narrow lane that leans gently downhill, guiding you toward the quiet heart of the city. The snow has softened everything now. Even the edges of the cobblestones beneath your feet seem smoother, as if winter has decided to sand down the world just for this one peaceful night. The buildings on either side stand tall and sturdy, their windows glowing with warm, golden light. Some have tiny balconies with iron railings where snow has collected in delicate curves. You imagine the people inside, wrapped in blankets, sipping warm drinks, unaware that someone outside is wandering through a night as serene as a dream. A soft breeze travels through the street, carrying a faint scent of roasted chestnuts from a vendor who must have closed only moments ago. The smell lingers like a gentle reminder of warmth and simple pleasures. You pause for a moment, breathing it in, letting it lift old memories or create new ones. The breeze quiets again, leaving the air still and hushed. The kind of hush that feels like the world is taking care of you. A small archway appears ahead, its stones worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. Snow gathers in its crevices, outlining every curve like a soft sketch. When you step beneath it, the sound around you shifts slightly, becoming more muted, like someone dimming the sound of the world. You hear your own breath more clearly. You feel the night holding you closer. Passing under the arch feels like stepping into a calmer chapter of the same dream. On the other side, the street opens into another small square, this one quieter than the last. A lone street lamp stands near its center, casting a pale yellow circle across the stones. Snowflakes fall into the light and glow for a moment before landing softly on the ground. Beyond the lamp, a row of tall trees stands in perfect stillness, their branches lined with white. They look like gentle guardians watching over the sleeping city. You drift toward a stone walkway lined with short, moss-covered walls. Snow has gathered on the moss, making the green beneath it appear deeper and softer. You trail your gloved fingers lightly over the top of the wall, feeling the coolness of the snow and the slightly uneven texture of the stone. Touching something solid, ancient, and familiar feels comforting, like placing your hand on the shoulder of an old friend. The walkway leads you back toward the river, where the water moves in slow, dark ribbons under the bridges. You stop at another railing, this one overlooking the wider stretch of the Seine. The river looks peaceful tonight, flowing steadily as the snow drifts across its surface. A small boat is tied to one of the lower docks, rocking gently with the movement of the water. Its lantern is dim but warm, casting a soft glow that dances on the river's edge. You lean forward slightly, watching the water swirl, It reminds you of how thoughts sometimes move inside the mind, slow, steady currents that become calmer when you simply observe them. The river's rhythm soothes you, the way nature often does when you give it your attention. You let the sound of the water fill your ears. You let the calm fill your body. From a nearby cafe terrace, sheltered from the snowfall, you hear faint laughter, not loud or sharp, but warm and soft, like two friends sharing stories late into the night. You imagine them sitting near a small candle, hands wrapped around steaming cups, talking about nothing urgent, just life, just moments, just small joys. Their laughter drifts gently across the snow, merging with the melody of the city in its winter quiet. You continue walking until you reach a long stone staircase that climbs toward a higher street. Snow has settled lightly along each step, making them look like they've been dusted with powdered sugar. You place your foot on the first step and begin to climb slowly, one step at a time. The motion feels rhythmic, almost meditative. Each step lifts you a little higher, bringing you closer to the rooftops of Paris. You pause halfway up and glance behind you. The city lies below, glowing softly through the snowfall. The river curves like a ribbon of shadow and silver. The lights shimmer like stars that have fallen asleep on earth. When you reach the top of the staircase, you find yourself on a wider street, quieter than the ones before. A few lanterns burn here, their flames steady and confident, unfazed by the gentle snow. A row of shops sits beneath a long awning. Most of them are closed, but one still has its door open with just a crack. A thin line of warm light spills out, touching the snow-covered ground. You walk past slowly, feeling the small wave of heat that escapes through the narrow gap. The warmth brushes your face like a soft hand. A few steps later, you come across an old iron bench positioned beneath a tall street lamp. Snow has gathered on its back and seat, but only lightly. You brush it aside and sit down, letting your legs rest. The lamp above hums faintly, the soft electrical sound blending with the quiet night. The bench feels sturdy beneath you, grounding and supportive. From here, you can see rooftops stretching out in gentle slopes, each one carrying a blanket of snow. Chimneys release thin trails of smoke that drift into the sky, blending with the falling flakes. You tilt your head back slightly. The sky above is a soft, muted gray, glowing from the city lights below. Snowflakes drift down from that glowing sky in endless patterns. They land on your coat, your gloves, your hair. Each one is delicate, unique, fleeting. Each one seems to say, slow down, rest, breathe. And so you do. You sit there, letting the night hold you, letting the softness settle deeper into your body. Nothing pulls at you, nothing demands your attention. The world feels gentle and forgiving. You feel the calm filling your chest, spreading through your shoulders, your arms, your hands. The snow continues to fall. The lamp continues to glow, and your breathing becomes slow, even, steady. You sit quietly for a little longer, letting the stillness of the night seep into every corner of your mind. The snow keeps falling, slow and steady, as if the sky has decided it wants to take its time tonight. Each flake drifts down with a quiet grace, twisting once or twice before settling into the world below. The city around you glows in that soft, wintry way that only snowy nights can create. Nothing is harsh. Nothing is loud. Everything feels like it's wrapped in cotton. When you stand up again, your footsteps are gentle, barely disturbing the thin blanket of snow beneath you. You follow the street as it bends left, then right, almost as if it's guiding you somewhere with intention. The buildings grow slightly closer together, and you find yourself in a street where tiny balconies jut out over the walkway, decorated with sleeping plants and small iron railings. Snow rests on each leaf, on each rail, on each rooftop tile. Every detail looks softened, blurred, peaceful. A warm glow spills from the window of a small apartment above you. The curtains are half drawn, and through the opening you can just make out the silhouette of someone moving slowly inside, maybe cleaning up after dinner, maybe preparing for sleep. A lamp casts a golden circle that reaches the window frame, and for a moment you feel as though you're looking into someone else's quiet night. The sight is comforting, not intrusive. It reminds you that even in the hush of winter, life continues gently behind every window. You keep walking, letting the night take you wherever it wishes. The snow deepens a little here, brushing around your shoes, settling so softly that it hardly makes a sound when you step. Ahead of you, the street leads toward a wide boulevard that slopes downward toward another branch of the river. You can see the water from here, moving slowly, reflecting the lamps that line the walkway. The reflections waver slightly with each ripple, turning the lights into shimmering strands of gold. You make your way toward the river again, drawn to its quiet voice. The water moves with a steady rhythm, soft enough that it blends with the gentle fall of snow. Together, the sounds create something like a lullaby, a low, soothing hum that follows you as you walk along the riverbank. You trail your hand along the top of the stone wall beside you, feeling the coolness of the stone and the soft dusting of snow that coats it. The smoothness beneath your glove is grounding, familiar, safe, across the river. A row of old Parisian buildings rises up, their windows glowing like small lanterns. Some windows flicker with candlelight, others glow with the softness of modern lamps. But together they create a quiet pattern of warmth, a cozy mosaic of lives happening quietly in the night. Above the rooftops, faint trails of chimney smoke drift upward, curling through the falling snow like mist. You pause beneath a tall lamppost, listening. There's a faint shuffling sound nearby, and when you turn your head, you see a person walking a small dog along the river's edge. The dog's fur collects snowflakes, turning it into a tiny, moving snowball. The person walks slowly, bundled in a thick coat and scarf. Their footsteps are muffled by the snow, and the dog trots happily beside them, leaving a winding trail of tiny paw prints behind. You watch them pass with a soft smile, comforted by this simple, gentle moment between companions. A little farther ahead, you notice an old stone bench built into the wall, sheltered slightly by a small overhang. Snow piles lightly on the bench's surface, but the overhang has kept the seat mostly dry. You brush away what little snow sits there and take a seat, letting your legs rest again. The stone feels cool beneath you, but the quiet embraces you warmly. You inhale slowly, the winter air filling your lungs with a fresh, peaceful clarity. From here, you can see the gentle curves of the bridges arching across the river. Each one is dusted with snow, lined with lamps, and trimmed with delicate frost. They look like elegant pathways from one dream to another. A few pedestrians cross one of the bridges in the distance, walking slowly, seemingly as entranced by the snowfall as you are. A soft, rustling sound comes from the branches of a small tree nearby. When you glance toward it, you see a pair of birds hopping lightly from branch to branch, fluffing their feathers against the cold. They chirp once, softly, as if commenting on the weather, then settle into the branches, tiny silhouettes framed by the falling snow. Their presence adds a tender little moment of life to the quiet night. You lean back slightly, letting your gaze drift upward. Snowflakes fall toward you from the pale sky, each one catching the lamplight for just a moment before it disappears. You watch them melt on your coat, tiny star-shaped patterns dissolving into little beads of water. You feel them land on your hair, your cheeks, the tips of your gloves. Each one is a cool little kiss from the winter sky. As you sit there, wrapped in the hush of the night, you notice the faint hum of distant traffic far across the city. It is soft, almost like a faraway sigh. It reminds you that even as the city rests, there are always a few tiny threads of life still moving through the streets. The sound doesn't break the peace. It blends gently into the quiet, becoming part of the night's gentle tapestry. After a few more moments, you rise from the bench and begin to walk again, following a narrow path that leads to a small footbridge. The bridge arches softly over a thin branch of the river, and its railings are decorated with small iron flowers. Snow has rested in each petal, turning them into delicate, frosted sculptures. You run your hand along the railing as you cross, feeling the smoothness of the iron beneath the thin layer of snow. The bridge creaks faintly under your steps, the sound old but comforting. On the other side, you find yourself in front of a cafe terrace that has been closed for the night. The chairs are stacked neatly beneath the awning, each one dusted with snow. A few small lanterns remain lit along the terrace, casting a warm glow that reflects gently off the snowy ground. You stand there for a moment, imagining what the cafe must feel like during the day, filled with voices, clinking cups, soft conversations. Tonight, though, it rests quietly, offering only its warmth and stillness to the night. You continue on, letting the snowy quiet guide you deeper into the heart of Paris. The city feels like it is whispering to you, telling you to take your time, to let yourself drift, to let your thoughts soften one by one. You follow the quiet path as it winds gently away from the cafe terrace. The snowfall has settled into a steady, peaceful rhythm, drifting down like soft white feathers. The air is calm, the wind mild enough that each flake seems to fall straight from the sky without resistance. You watch them gather on the edges of the cobblestones, in the corners of windowsills, and along the tops of the old stone walls that frame the street. The world feels softened, as if winter has taken a paintbrush, dipped in white, and brushed the city into a gentle blur. As you walk, you notice the faint glow of another storefront ahead. This one is a small flower shop, its windows fogged from the warmth inside. Even though it's closed for the night, a few lamps remain lit, casting a golden haze across the bouquets displayed behind the glass. You stop in front of the window, peering through the fogged patch near the edge where the warmth hasn't fully reached. Inside, bunches of dried lavender hang upside down from wooden racks, their soft purple color muted in the dim light. There are roses, too, pressed carefully between sheets of paper on a work table, waiting to be arranged in the morning. A tiny pot of white winter flowers sits near the door, their petals slightly curled. You imagine the delicate scent inside the shop, floral and quiet, a perfect companion to the peaceful night. You continue walking, letting the soft crunch of snow carry you forward. The street turns gently and leads you toward a quieter part of the city, where the buildings grow slightly shorter and more spaced apart. Here, the snow has collected in thicker drifts along the edges of the road. Each step feels cushioned. Every footfall lands without urgency or sound. The world feels like it has been muted for your comfort. A lamppost stands at the end of the street, its warm glow illuminating a small courtyard. You step into the courtyard slowly, noticing how the snow has piled up in smooth, untouched waves. A stone fountain stands in the middle, frozen over in a way that makes the water look like it stopped mid-dance. Icicles hang from the fountain's rim, long and delicate. Some catch the lamplight. You move closer and place a glove on the frozen surface. The ice feels smooth, solid, like glass. You trace a small circle on it with your fingertip, leaving a faint mark that fades as the snow continues to fall. Beyond the fountain, a narrow alleyway extends between two buildings. It looks cozy, almost tucked away, like a secret part of the city that only reveals itself on nights like this. You decide to follow it, walking slowly beneath the overhanging rooftops. Snow collects only lightly here, falling in thin streams where the roofs part above you. The walls on either side are marked with age, soft cracks and worn paint, each sign a reminder of the countless winters this alley has seen. You run your fingers along the wall as you walk, feeling the texture of the stone beneath a thin layer of frost. It feels grounding, real, steady. At the end of the alleyway, you emerge onto a street lined with small townhouses, each with a door painted in a different soft color: pale blues, muted greens, warm creams. Many have wreaths hung on the front, decorated with sprigs of pine, bits of ribbon, or tiny ornaments. Snow rests gently on top of each wreath, adding an extra layer of winter charm. Some doors have lanterns beside them, flickering in the night, casting small puddles of warm light along the steps. You pass a townhouse with a larger window, and inside you glimpse a softly glowing room. A fire burns low in the fireplace, orange embers glowing at the base. A thick blanket is draped over the back of a chair near the fire, and a steaming cup rests on a small wooden table beside it. No one is there at the moment, but the scene feels alive with warmth. You imagine someone stepping back into the room soon, maybe to settle down with a book or simply enjoy the quiet. For a moment, you picture yourself in that cozy chair, listening to the fire crackle, watching the snow fall outside. The thought sends a wave of warmth over you. You continue on, letting the night draw you deeper into this quiet neighborhood. A gentle wind stirs the trees lining the street, causing clusters of snow to drift from the branches in slow, powdery cascades. The branches shake softly, whispering in the cold air. The sound is subtle, almost like a sigh. It blends with the ambience of the city in winter, creating a natural harmony that eases your mind. At the end of the street, you find a small park. Its gate stands slightly ajar, as if inviting you inside. The park is blanketed in snow, untouched by footprints, a peaceful expanse of white stretching across the ground. You walk through the gate, listening to it creak gently behind you. The sound feels familiar, like something from a childhood memory. Inside the park, the trees stand tall and quiet, their branches heavy with snow. A row of old wooden benches lines the walking path, each covered in a thick layer of white. You brush off one of them and take a seat, feeling the calm of the park settle into your bones. The park is still, except for the soft hissing sound of snow landing on the ground around you. It's a quiet sound, almost like a whispering hush. The lamps along the path glow with a gentle light that reflects off the snow, giving the park a soft, dreamy glow. The branches above sway lightly, sending more flakes drifting down in slow, scattered spirals. The trees seem to breathe with the night, and you breathe with them. You sit there for a long moment, letting the peacefulness of the park sink into you. You feel the cool air fill your lungs with every breath. You feel your shoulders relax, your mind drift. Paris feels softer here, quieter than ever, like a place suspended gently in time. Eventually, you stand again, not because you want to leave the calm, but because the night still has more to show you. You follow the path through the park, listening to the gentle whisper of snow around you. And as you walk, the calm inside you deepens, becoming steady and warm, like a soft light glowing quietly within your chest. You step back onto the street, surrounded by the hush of winter, and continue your journey through the snowy night. You step out of the park, feeling as though you've walked through a small, gentle dream. The snow has grown lighter again, falling in graceful threads rather than clusters. Each flake drifts slowly, almost lazily, as if winter itself is beginning to feel drowsy. You walk with it, your pace matching the softness of the night. The world around you feels wrapped in quiet. Your footsteps are gentle, and the city seems to listen as you move through it, responding with little whispers of sound, the faint groan of a shutter shifting in the breeze, the soft flutter of snow against your coat, the distant hum of a passing bicycle slipping through the night. A little farther ahead, you notice a narrow stone staircase leading upward between two old buildings. The steps curve slightly, hidden on one side by a tangle of bare vines climbing up the wall. Snow clings to the vines, highlighting each strand and making them look like delicate lines drawn by winter. You place your hand on the stone railing and begin to climb. The staircase is lit by a single lantern halfway up, casting a soft glow that dances on the walls as the flame inside flickers. Your shadow stretches gently behind you, long and soft-edged, blending with the falling snow. At the top of the stairs, you find a small landing that looks out over part of the neighborhood you just walked through. The rooftops below are blanketed in smooth waves of white. Chimneys rise quietly from them, sending up thin spirals of smoke that fade into the gray sky. The scene feels peaceful, almost suspended, as if time has slowed down just for this moment. You stand there for a breath or two, absorbing the view, letting the hush of the city sink even deeper into you. When you turn to continue walking, you find yourself in front of a charming balcony walkway that connects to buildings. The walkway is sheltered by a wooden awning, allowing only a few stray flakes to fall inside. You cross it slowly, listening to the soft creak of the old wood beneath your steps. On the far end, you pass a small potted plant sitting on the ledge. The plant is dormant for the winter, its leaves curled inward, but a dusting of snow rests gently on top. Even in its quiet state, it seems peaceful, content to rest until spring. You make your way down another short set of stairs that leads to a cozy side street. The lamps here glow warmer, a deeper shade of gold. The buildings are painted in soft color scheme, pale yellow, muted red each, one softened further by the snowfall. A small cafe sits at the corner, its interior dark for the night, but its sign gently illuminated. You can see a few empty tables inside, chairs tucked neatly in. The cups and plates on the shelves reflect the faint light from the street lamp, glimmering softly like tiny stars. As you walk past the cafe, you hear the faint hum of music. It is coming from one of the upper floors of the building next to you, maybe a gentle piano piece, played slowly, each note lingering in the air before fading. The melody drifts downward through an open window, blending with the quiet night. You pause to listen, letting the soft rise and fall of the notes settle into your chest. The sound feels warm, familiar, comforting. You imagine the person playing may be seated by a window, fingers moving gracefully across the keys, lost in their own quiet moment. When you continue walking, the music follows you for a little while before fading into the distance. You turn down a slightly wider street where the trees stand tall on either side, their branches arching above you like a soft winter tunnel. Snow rests delicately on every branch, glowing in the lamplight. As you walk beneath them, a few flakes fall from above, landing lightly on your shoulders and the crown of your head. The cold touch is gentle, almost playful. You tilt your head back slightly, watching more snow drift down through the branches like a slow, steady snowfall in a snow globe. Halfway down the street, you come upon a small artisan shop. Its window display is filled with hand-carved wooden figures animals, tiny houses, miniature carousels. They look almost alive in the warm light shining from inside. You step closer, drawn to the gentle craftsmanship. Each piece is polished smooth, the grains of the wood soft and flowing. A little sign inside the window reads, "Closed for tonight," written in delicate handwriting. But the shop still feels warm, as if someone had recently stepped out and left behind the lingering heat of creation. You continue onward, following the gentle slope of the street as it guides you toward another part of the river. The air here feels even quieter, the buildings farther apart, creating a spaciousness that lets you breathe a little deeper. The river appears again through the spaces between the buildings, dark and calm. Lamps line the walkway beside it, casting long ribbons of gold across the snowy path. You walk closer until you're standing at the railing, looking out over the gentle flow of water. Across the river, a small tower rises above the rooftops, its clock face dimly illuminated. The hands move slowly, marking the late hour. The soft chiming of the clock begins just as you look at it. The sound travels through the cold air in slow, soothing rings. Each chime feels like a gentle reminder that time is still moving. But there's no need to rush, not tonight. The city isn't asking anything of you. It's simply keeping you company. You walk along the riverbank, the snow crunching softly with each step. The lamps create overlapping circles of light on the ground, and you move from one circle to the next, like stepping from one soft pool of warmth to another. A few boats sit moored to the side, their ropes stiff with frost. Snow has gathered on their decks, turning them into little floating pillows of white. One boat has a small lantern hanging near the bow, flickering gently in the cold air. The reflection of the lantern wavers on the surface of the river, creating a soft, golden tremble. You take another breath, slow and deep. The cold air fills your lungs, crisp but gentle. You feel your body relax a little more with each step, your thoughts unwinding like soft threads. The only thing you need to do is walk, breathe, and listen to the quiet. The night takes care of the rest. After a while, the river path leads you toward another bridge, smaller and quieter than the earlier ones. Snow blankets its stone arch, making it look like something from a fairy tale. You walk up its gentle incline, listening to the subtle shift of snow beneath your boots. When you reach the middle, you pause and look down at the river once more. The water moves slowly beneath you, carrying the reflections of lamps, buildings, and falling snowflakes. It feels like watching the city's dreams drift by. You linger there for a moment, letting the calm of the scene settle deeply into you. The snow continues to fall, the river continues to flow, and Paris continues to breathe softly around you, inviting you to rest a little more with each passing moment. You step carefully off the bridge, feeling the snow underfoot crunch softly, but not sharply. Each step feels like a conversation between you and the quiet city, as if the night itself is acknowledging your presence with gentle approval. The street ahead slopes downward, guiding you toward a cluster of old townhouses that sit huddled together, their chimneys releasing lazy spirals of smoke into the cold air. You notice that the rooftops are covered in thick blankets of snow, the ridges and valleys softened, almost as if Paris has tucked itself in for a long, deep sleep. The air smells faintly of pine from a nearby courtyard, mixed with a trace of firewood. You breathe in slowly, letting the scent settle warmly inside your chest. The feeling is comforting, like a soft hug for your insides. A few snowflakes land on your eyelashes, sparkling for a fleeting moment before melting into tiny beads of water. Each one is unique, fragile, and fleeting, much like this quiet night. You allow yourself to be fully present, letting each sensation anchor you in this serene moment. Ahead, you notice a tiny alley that curves gently to the right. Its cobblestones are uneven, worn smooth in places by centuries of footsteps. The walls that line the alley are old and softened with age, dotted with climbing ivy that has gone dormant for the winter. Snow rests lightly on every crevice, turning rough stone into something softer, more inviting. You step into the alley slowly, letting its intimacy surround you. The lamplight here is softer, casting delicate shadows across the walls, and the hush is deeper, almost sacred. Partway down the alley, you glimpse a small shop window glowing warmly. Inside, a baker has left a tray of bread cooling by the window, its golden crusts reflecting the lamplight in tiny, comforting glimmers. You imagine the smell of fresh bread mingling with the winter air, yeasty, warm, and homey. No one is present now, yet the scene feels alive, like it's holding the memory of activity, of care, of quiet labor. You pause for a moment, letting the thought of this warmth settle inside you like a soft ember in a hearth. Continuing along the alley, you emerge into a narrow square where a small fountain stands frozen, icicles hanging delicately from its edges. Snow has piled around its base, forming a soft cushion of white. The lamps in this square cast gentle pools of light, illuminating the snowflakes as they drift lazily to the ground. You stand quietly, listening to the soft fall, noticing how each flake lands with barely a sound, yet somehow creates a chorus of calm. You let the rhythm of falling snow settle into your mind, a natural, hypnotic cadence that encourages your thoughts to slow. A gentle breeze passes, stirring the branches of the bare trees that line the square. Snow drifts from their higher limbs in slow, graceful arcs, floating down and settling around you. You extend your hand and let a few flakes land on your palm, watching them melt almost instantly. The sensation is cool but not unpleasant, a delicate reminder of the quiet magic surrounding you. Everything feels deliberate yet effortless, as if the city is orchestrating this serene moment just for you. From the far side of the square, the faint sound of a violin begins to drift on the cold air. The notes are soft, slow, lingering, as if the musician is playing for no one and everyone at once. Each note carries a warm, gentle melancholy that brushes against your heart without stirring sadness. Instead, it soothes, like a soft hand pressing gently on your chest, reminding you that you are safe, that you are exactly where you need to be. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the music, the snow, and the warmth of the lamps blend into one peaceful sensation. You move forward again, guided by the music and the soft curve of the streets. The snow has deepened a little, creating gentle drifts along the edges of the walkways. Your boots make soft impressions that are quickly filled in as more flakes fall. The rhythm of your steps, the hush of the night, the faint melody, it all combines into a steady, soothing pulse that matches the rhythm of your breathing. You inhale slowly, letting the crisp winter air fill your lungs, and exhale gently, letting your body soften a little more with each breath. Ahead, you notice a small stone bridge, narrower than the others, its arch reflecting in the quiet water below. Icicles cling to its edges, delicate and shimmering. You step onto the bridge carefully, feeling the slight unevenness of the stones beneath your feet. The river glides silently under the arch, reflecting the soft lamplight in patterns that shift like liquid gold. You pause at the center, leaning lightly on the railing, and watch the snowflakes drift across the water. Each flake seems to hover for a brief, perfect moment before joining the others in the river's reflection. Across the bridge, the street rises slightly and leads you toward a small cafe tucked into the corner of the neighborhood. It is closed now, but the sign above the door swings gently in the breeze, creaking softly. Snow has gathered on the awning, and a thin layer rests on the chairs stacked inside. You imagine the scene here earlier in the day, people laughing softly over steaming cups, gentle conversations filling the air, warm bread and pastries being passed from hand to hand. The memory of warmth lingers in the night air, comforting and tender. You continue along the street, the snow crunching softly beneath your boots. The buildings here are quaint, painted in muted, sleepy colors, faded yellows, soft blues, gentle creams. Each roof is capped with a thick layer of snow, and the faint light from the windows glows like little embers in the cold darkness. You notice a small cat sitting quietly on a windowsill, its tail curled around its paws. It watches you briefly, then closes its eyes, settling into the warmth of the home inside. The sight brings a quiet smile to your lips. The night feels endless but gentle, each step carrying you deeper into calm. Every sound, the snow, the faint music, the distant murmur of the city melds into a soft, harmonious rhythm. You breathe slowly, your chest rising and falling in tandem with the peaceful pulse of the city. Every movement, every sensation, every thought softens as you walk through the snow-blanketed streets. And so, dear listener, you continue wandering through the snowy heart of Paris, wrapped in the hush of winter, carried forward by the gentle rhythm of falling snow and the quiet glow of lamplight. The night seems endless, and yet, in its endlessness, you feel perfectly at peace. The street begins to widen slightly, opening onto a quiet avenue lined with tall, elegant buildings. Their facades are dusted with snow, which clings to the ornate moldings and carvings, softening each architectural detail. The lamps along the avenue cast long, golden pools of light, turning the street into a gentle river of warmth beneath the cool winter sky. You walk slowly, letting your eyes wander over the intricate balconies, the shuttered windows, the delicate iron railings. Everything seems softened by the snow, as though the city itself is pausing, exhaling, resting. You notice a small bookstore tucked into a corner, its windows fogged from the warmth within, even though it's closed for the night. The faint glow of a lamp inside reveals shelves overflowing with books, their spines creating a rainbow of muted colors. You imagine the quiet rustle of pages, the faint scent of old paper and ink, the delicate hush that fills a room like this. You pause for a moment, letting the image settle in your mind, a small, comforting sanctuary of knowledge and calm amid the wintry streets. A few steps ahead, the avenue curves gently, leading you toward a tiny plaza. In the center, a statue of an old figure stands tall, snow resting lightly on its shoulders. Its face seems softened by age and snow, serene and watchful, as if guarding the plaza and all who pass through. The lamps around it cast a gentle glow, making the snow on the statue shimmer faintly. You pause, taking in the quiet dignity of this little corner of the city, letting it fill your mind with stillness. From one of the nearby buildings comes the soft sound of a piano once more, this time joined by the distant hum of a soft wind. The notes drift gently across the plaza, wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Each chord rises slowly, lingers, and falls, blending seamlessly with the hush of falling snow. You feel your body relaxing with every note, your shoulders loosening, your chest softening. The music seems perfectly timed to your breathing, drawing you deeper into the calm of the night. The snowflakes around you continue to drift in endless patterns, some landing softly on your hair, others melting into the folds of your coat. They sparkle faintly in the lamplight, each one unique, each one fleeting. You watch them for a while, letting their delicate dance slow your thoughts, letting the repetitive, quiet motion of the snowfall become a gentle rhythm that matches the quiet pulse of your own heart. You feel lighter somehow, as if the snow is carrying away any lingering tension, leaving only stillness and warmth behind. A small alley catches your eye, leading off the plaza and curling toward a row of low houses. You follow it, stepping carefully over the snow-covered cobblestones. The alley is narrow and sheltered, and the snow has collected in soft mounds along the edges. Every step feels quiet, deliberate, almost meditative. The walls on either side are covered in climbing vines that have surrendered to winter, their bare branches etched softly against the glowing lamps. You brush lightly against one, feeling the faint powder of snow that has settled on its limbs. The sensation is grounding, connecting you to the quiet rhythm of the night. At the end of the alley, you emerge onto a small square with a frozen fountain at its center. Snow has gathered in thick drifts around the fountain's edges, and icicles hang from the rim like delicate crystal chandeliers. A lone bench sits nearby, partially covered in snow, inviting you to pause once more. You take a seat, settling into the quiet and letting your body release any remaining tension. The cold stone beneath you is firm but not uncomfortable, and the snow that has gathered around it seems to soften its edges. You inhale slowly, filling your lungs with crisp, clean winter air, and exhale fully, feeling a deep sense of ease. A soft rustle from above catches your attention. Looking up, you see a few birds perched on the branches of nearby trees, their feathers fluffed against the cold. They chirp softly, barely audible, before settling again. The sound is tender and fleeting, blending into the quiet tapestry of the plaza. You smile gently, feeling a connection to this peaceful life unfolding all around you. The city may be asleep, but it is alive in subtle, serene ways, and you are part of it now, wrapped in its hush. The snow continues its gentle descent, each flake a tiny whisper from the sky. You lean back on the bench, closing your eyes for a moment, letting the cool air kiss your cheeks and the soft hush of the city fill your ears. Every sense is engaged in quiet observation. The sight of glowing lamps on snow, the sound of snowflakes landing softly, the faint scent of wood smoke drifting from distant chimneys, the feeling of the cold winter air, and the steady warmth of your own body. You feel cocooned in the night, safe, grounded, and completely at peace. When you rise to continue walking, you notice the avenue leading toward a cluster of rooftops that seem to glow under the moonlight. The snow has piled higher here, smoothing out the edges of chimneys and ledges. From this vantage point, you can see the soft curve of the Seine in the distance, dark and calm, reflecting the subtle lights from the streets above. The city stretches before you, quiet, gentle, suspended in its own peaceful rhythm. You feel your heart align with this rhythm, slow and steady, each beat harmonizing with the quiet night. You walk slowly toward the rooftops, letting the city guide your steps. The gentle crunch of snow beneath your boots, the faint hum of distant life, the delicate glow of lampsol of it blends together into a lullaby of calm. Your thoughts drift freely now, untethered from worry, untangled from the noise of day. Everything seems softened, muted, slowed down, as if the snow itself is conducting the city's hush directly into your mind. You feel weightless, cradled by the serenity of the night, and ready to sink even deeper into rest. The avenue begins to narrow slightly, turning into a quiet lane lined with old Parisian townhouses. Their rooftops are thickly dusted with snow, and soft moonlight spills over their edges, giving each one a silver halo. You notice tiny dormer windows peeking out from the roofs, some dimly lit from within. The warm glow inside suggests small fires burning gently, casting shadows on walls and filling rooms with a comforting hush. You imagine someone inside, wrapped in a blanket, sipping tea or reading by the fire. The thought feels like an embrace from the city itself, gentle and reassuring. As you walk, your steps echo softly on the cobblestones, blending seamlessly with the hush of the falling snow. The rhythm of your footsteps becomes a steady pulse, matching your breathing. You take a slow inhale, feeling the crisp winter air fill your lungs, and exhale, letting your shoulders drop and your body release a little more tension. Each step forward feels purposeful, yet calm, as though the city itself is leading you toward some hidden sanctuary of rest and stillness. Ahead, you spot a small square where the snow has gathered thickly, untouched and smooth. In the center, an ornate rotairon lamppost stands tall, its lantern glowing softly and casting a warm, golden pool of light on the surrounding snow. The light creates subtle shadows, playing across the surface of the square like a gentle dance. You walk into the circle of warmth and pause, letting your eyes trace the curves of the ironwork and the delicate frost patterns on the ground. The scene is mesmerizing in its stillness, a quiet piece of art crafted by the night itself. You notice a small cafe at the edge of the square, its windows frosted, but the faint glow of lanterns inside spills outward. Even though it's closed, the sight evokes the gentle clinking of cups, the soft murmur of conversation, and the subtle aroma of baked goods that once filled the air. You imagine the chairs neatly tucked under tables, a steaming pot of coffee or tea waiting for morning, and the quiet energy of a day about to begin. The thought of it feels comforting, a reminder of warmth, nourishment, and gentle rhythms of life continuing quietly even while you wander through the stillness of night. Continuing past the square, the street slopes gently downward toward the river once again. The water glimmers faintly in the moonlight, reflecting the soft lamps that line the walkway. You pause for a moment at the edge, leaning lightly on the stone railing. The current moves slowly, carrying snowflakes that land on its surface in tiny ripples. The water is calm, steady, and soothing, and you watch it for a while, letting your mind drift along with its gentle flow. It is easy to imagine all worries and tension floating away with the river, carried off into quiet stillness. From nearby, you hear a faint rustle, and looking up, you see a small flock of birds settling into the branches of a tree beside the riverbank. They fluff their feathers against the cold, chirping softly, a gentle accompaniment to the hush of falling snow. Watching them, you feel a small, peaceful connection to the life around you. Even in the quiet of winter, life continues, and it continues gently. You breathe in the calm, feeling it settle deep into your chest, softening your thoughts and your body. You follow the riverbank, noticing how the lamps cast pools of light along the snow. Each lamp seems like a small beacon, a signal of warmth and safety in the winter night. You step from one circle of light to another, feeling each transition as smooth and natural, a gentle progression that lulls your mind toward rest. The snow under your boots is soft, and your footprints are quickly covered by more flakes, leaving the path pristine once more. The world feels alive and yet perfectly still, like a lullaby sung by the city itself. As you continue, you come upon a small bridge crossing a narrower part of the river. The stone arch is dusted with snow, and the railing glistens with delicate frost. You pause halfway across, leaning on the cool stone, and look down at the water below. The reflections of the street lamps shimmer on the gentle waves, creating golden ribbons that seem to float endlessly. The rhythm of the river below, combined with the soft whisper of falling snow, forms a natural, hypnotic cadence, one that soothes your mind and eases every tension in your body. On the far side of the bridge, a narrow lane leads upward, lined with tiny, closely packed townhouses. Snow has piled on their roofs in soft, even layers, and smoke curls lazily from chimneys into the quiet sky. You notice small touches of life, a wreath hanging on a door, a lantern flickering in a window, a soft glow spilling onto the snowy walkway. Each detail is small, gentle, and inviting, a reminder of warmth and life continuing quietly within the hush of winter. You walk slowly, letting the soft ambience envelop you completely. The lane curves gently, taking you past a small courtyard tucked behind the houses. Here, a bench sits beneath a snow-laden tree, and you decide to pause. The bench is cold beneath you, but the surrounding quiet creates a cocoon of peace. You hear only the faint whisper of snow falling from branches, the occasional distant hum of the city, and your own steady breathing. You settle into the stillness, letting the calm wrap around you like a soft blanket, your mind and body becoming heavier, more relaxed, and ready to drift further into restful sleep. You rise slowly from the bench, feeling the snow settle softly beneath your feet as you continue along the courtyard path. The branches above, still heavy with snow, occasionally release a few flakes that drift lazily to the ground. The air is crisp, clean, and quiet, carrying with it the faint scent of winter pine and distant fireplaces. You take a deep breath, letting it fill your lungs completely, and exhale slowly, allowing the calm of the night to settle even deeper into your body. Every sound, every sight, every sensation blends into a quiet symphony, a lullaby woven from the hushed rhythms of the city and the gentle fall of snow. Ahead, the courtyard opens onto a small street lined with stone buildings, their windows faintly glowing with the memory of life within. The snow has gathered along the edges of the roofs and in the cracks of the cobblestones, softening each surface. You notice a small bakery window on the corner, fogged from warmth inside. Even though it is closed, you imagine the smell of freshly baked bread lingering in the air, sweet and comforting, adding another layer to the gentle magic of the night. You walk past slowly, savoring the imagined aroma, letting it mingle with the clean, crisp winter air around you. The street curves softly, leading toward a small square where a frozen fountain stands surrounded by gently glowing lampposts. Icicles hang delicately from the fountain's edges, catching the soft lamplight and scattering it in tiny, fleeting rainbows. You pause for a moment to admire the serene scene. The snow here is thick and soft, muffling your footsteps and everything else around you. You notice how peaceful it feels, as though the square itself is holding its breath, waiting for the world to join in its quiet stillness. You let yourself rest in that sense of suspended calm. From somewhere nearby, a faint, soft piano melody drifts on the cold air. The notes rise slowly and fall with the gentlest cadence, each one lingering in the quiet night. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the music fill the spaces around you, wrapping around your shoulders, your chest, your mind. The sound seems to echo in perfect harmony with the hush of falling snow, creating a steady, soothing rhythm that slows your thoughts, easing every tension and worry. The music blends seamlessly with the soft whisper of winter, and you feel your body grow heavier, sinking gently into comfort. You continue walking through the square, guided by the soft glow of the lamps and the faint, comforting melody. The snow crunches lightly under your boots, but the sound is gentle, almost hypnotic. You notice a few small birds perched quietly on the frozen branches of nearby trees, their tiny chirps blending with the distant hum of the city. They watch you briefly, then settle back into their perch, and you feel a quiet companionship with the life around you. Even in the deep hush of winter night, life continues, softly, peacefully, tenderly. As you move forward, the street begins to rise slightly, leading toward a series of old townhouses, their rooftops dusted in snow and their chimneys sending slow spirals of smoke into the night sky. The glow from their windows is soft and warm, a golden contrast to the silver blue of the snowy streets. You notice the little touches of life that hint at the warmth inside, lanterns flickering, wreaths hanging on doors, and curtains that flutter ever so slightly in the breeze. Each detail is a quiet reminder that life continues gently, and that even in the stillness, there is a comforting rhythm and continuity. You follow the street as it curves gently to the right, guiding you to a quiet alleyway that opens onto another hidden square. Here, the snow has piled in soft drifts, undisturbed, and a single bench sits beneath a snow-covered tree. You sit down slowly, feeling the cold stone beneath you, softened by the surrounding snow. The lamplight bathes the scene in a warm, golden glow, and the quiet of the night seems absolute. You close your eyes, taking a deep breath, letting the snow, the soft music, the warm light, and the gentle hush of Paris wrap around you like a thick, comforting blanket. From this hidden square, you catch a faint view of the Seine in the distance. The river flows slowly and quietly, reflecting the soft glow of streetlights and the scattered moonlight. Snowflakes drift lazily onto its dark surface, creating tiny ripples that shimmer briefly before fading. You stand, walking toward the railing overlooking the river, and lean lightly against it. The stillness of the water, combined with the serene glow of lights and the quiet snowfall, creates a profound sense of calm. You feel as though time itself has slowed to match your steady, relaxed breathing. The city around you is quiet, almost suspended, yet it is alive in subtle, gentle ways. You hear the faint creak of shutters, the occasional rustle of branches, the soft echo of distant footsteps, every sound a whisper, every movement slowed to a peaceful cadence. You take another deep breath, feeling the crisp winter air fill your lungs and the warmth of your body settle around you like a soft shield. Your mind drifts gently, thoughts slowing, muscles softening, tension dissolving. Paris in winter nightfall feels like a quiet companion, cradling you in its hush. As you stand there, taking in the serene flow of the river and the gentle glow of the snowy streets, a sense of completeness washes over you. The world feels right, calm, gentle. Your body is relaxed, your mind quiet, your heart steady. The city, the snow, the lamplight, the hidden squares, the soft music hall of it blends together into a lullaby that lulls you closer to deep rest. You feel ready to sink into sleep, to drift effortlessly, carried by the serene rhythm of the snowy night. You continue walking along the riverbank, the soft crunch of snow under your boots blending with the hushed rhythm of the night. The Seine glimmers quietly, reflecting the gentle glow of lamps and the silver wash of moonlight. You notice how the water moves smoothly, almost like it's breathing in sync with you. Each ripple feels calm, deliberate, and slow, and you allow your mind to drift with it, letting thoughts soften and fade like flakes melting into the river. The street curves gently, leading you toward a small cluster of townhouses with sloped rooftops blanketed in snow. Smoke curls lazily from the chimneys, dissipating into the cold air. A faint golden glow spills from their windows, suggesting warmth and comfort inside. You imagine the soft crackle of fires, the muted laughter of someone enjoying a quiet moment, and the gentle aroma of baked bread or simmering tea. The idea of this small, cozy life feels soothing, a tender counterpoint to the stillness outside. Ahead, you notice a narrow cobblestone alley that winds between the houses. The snow has drifted in gentle piles along the sides, untouched and soft. You step into the alley slowly, your boots pressing lightly into the snow. The walls are old and textured, frost accentuating every groove and crevice. The quiet here is deeper, almost sacred, and you feel a gentle weight of calm pressing over you. Every step forward seems measured, thoughtful, in harmony with the hush of the night. A small shop window catches your eye. Though the store is closed, the warm glow from a single lantern illuminates a display of delicate, handcrafted trinkets. You imagine tiny figures, carved and painted with care, each one resting patiently under the soft lamplight. The thought is comforting, like a secret world, quietly existing for those who take the time to notice. You pause for a moment, letting the gentle imagery settle in your mind, allowing your body to sink further into relaxation. As you continue, the alley opens onto a quiet square, softly lit by a single lamp post. Snow has formed a thick, even layer across the cobblestones, muffling your steps completely. In the center of the square stands a small fountain, frozen and still, with icicles hanging delicately from its edges. You watch the way the light flickers off the ice, creating tiny reflections that dance subtly in the snow. Each reflection feels like a whispered lullaby, calm, slow, and soothing. A faint, soft piano melody drifts from somewhere nearby, mingling perfectly with the hush of the falling snow. The notes rise and fall gently, carrying a warmth that blends seamlessly with the stillness around you. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the music fill the empty spaces of the square, the empty spaces inside yourself. Your shoulders relax, your chest softens, and the tension of the day melts away. The rhythm of the music seems to sync perfectly with your breathing, slow and steady, guiding you deeper into calm. You walk toward the river once more, feeling the gentle slope of the path underfoot. The snow here is lighter, almost powdery, drifting softly with every gentle breeze. The banks are lined with trees, their branches coated in snow, creating a natural tunnel through which the faint glow of the lamps flickers. You pass beneath them slowly, letting the snow and light weave around you, creating a cocoon of peace and serenity. Each step feels deliberate yet effortless, grounding you in the quiet rhythm of winter. Along the river, you notice a small bench nestled beneath a snow-laden tree. You sit slowly, letting the cold seat press softly against you, while the surrounding hush of the city wraps around your shoulders. The water moves gently below, dark and calm, reflecting the soft moonlight. You watch a few snowflakes land on the surface, creating tiny ripples before melting away. Each ripple is a gentle reminder of the slow, constant flow of time, of life continuing softly, even in stillness. The distant hum of the city feels like a gentle heartbeat, steady and unobtrusive. You close your eyes, letting the combined sensations, the cold touch of snow, the warm glow of lamps, the gentle movement of the river, the soft notes of piano carry you deeper into stillness. Your thoughts drift like clouds, slow and quiet, untangling from worries or plans. Every breath feels longer, more deliberate, more comforting, as though the night itself is guiding you toward a deep, peaceful rest. From the riverbank, the city stretches before you like a soft dreamscape, rooftops blanketed in snow, chimneys sending up curling wisps of smoke, and faint lights twinkling gently in windows. You rise from the bench and continue along the path, each step deliberate, unhurried, in harmony with the quiet rhythm of the night. The air is crisp but comforting, the snow muffling distant noises, allowing you to feel completely enveloped in serenity. The gentle hush of the streets and the quiet flow of the river create a lullaby of their own, steady, slow, and soothing. You pause again to look over the river, noticing the delicate dance of snowflakes as they fall onto the dark water. Their movements are soft and unpredictable, yet perfectly natural, creating a rhythm that is gentle, hypnotic, and calming. You breathe slowly, letting the rhythm of the snow and river synchronize with the steady beat of your heart. A profound sense of peace settles over you, a deep relaxation that seems to emanate from the city itself, carrying you toward quiet, restorative sleep. You follow the gentle curve of the riverbank, feeling the snow underfoot cushion your steps. The air is crisp, filled with the subtle scent of pine, smoke, and winter chill. The glow of the lamps reflects on the surface of the river, shimmering in slow, delicate patterns, almost like liquid gold, moving in harmony with your breathing. Each step feels lighter than the last, as though the quiet of the night itself is carrying you along, soothing every muscle and easing every thought. The street bends slightly, revealing a cluster of quiet townhouses, their roofs thick with snow. Tiny dormer windows peek through, some faintly illuminated by a soft, golden glow. You imagine warm fires burning inside, the gentle crackle of logs filling rooms with calm energy. Curtains flutter slightly in the cold breeze, and for a moment, it feels like the whole city is breathing slowly with you, exhaling warmth into the cold night. You continue past a small alley where snow has drifted into soft piles along the edges. Icicles hang delicately from the rooftops above, catching the lamplight and scattering subtle sparks of light across the cobblestones. You step carefully, your boots pressing gently into the snow, feeling the slight resistance soften under your weight. Every movement is slow, deliberate, and soothing. The alley is quiet, almost sacred, a place where the hush of winter seems thick enough to hold the world in a gentle embrace. A soft sound catches your attention, a faint hum of music drifting from a nearby window. You follow it lightly, letting it guide you like a gentle hand. The melody is tender, almost imperceptible at first, rising and falling in waves that match the rhythm of your own breathing. You imagine someone inside, sitting by a candle or small fire, fingers moving gracefully over piano keys or strings, lost in a moment of quiet creation. The sound wraps around you like a soft, warm blanket, pulling your thoughts further from worry and closer to calm. The alley opens onto a small square. In the center stands a frozen fountain, dusted with snow and surrounded by tiny piles of untouched powder. The lamplight here is soft, golden, and steady, casting gentle shadows across the square. You pause, taking in the serene scene. The snow muffles all sound, creating a quiet cocoon. You let yourself breathe deeply, letting the stillness of the night settle into your chest and spread to your fingertips, your toes, every part of you. You notice a bench tucked beneath a snow-covered tree, its branches bending slightly under the weight of the snow. You sit down slowly, feeling the cold stone press softly beneath you, while the snow around cushions and insulates the space. The river glimmers faintly in the distance, its surface smooth and reflective. Snow drifts lazily onto the branches above, occasionally landing on your shoulders. Each flake feels like a gentle tap, a whisper from the night, inviting you to relax even further. The quiet is broken only by the soft movement of the wind and the faint hum of the city far away. Each sound is slow, gentle, almost meditative. You close your eyes and let the sensation of calm wash over you, matching the rhythm of your breathing to the hush of the snow-covered streets. The gentle, rhythmic pulse of the city, the quiet music, and the serene presence of the river combine to create a lullaby that seems to flow directly into your mind, guiding you toward deep rest. You rise slowly from the bench, feeling as though your body is floating lightly on the soft blanket of snow beneath you. The path winds gently upward, leading you through the narrow streets, past townhouses dusted with snow, past shuttered windows glowing faintly with warmth. You notice small details, the curve of a railing, the delicate icicles hanging from an EV, the soft drift of snow across the street. Every detail is a quiet reminder of calm, a gentle touch that anchors you in the serenity of the moment. The path eventually leads to a small bridge, narrower than the others, arched gracefully over a calm stretch of the Seine. You pause in the center, leaning lightly on the railing. Below, the water moves slowly, carrying gentle reflections of lamplight and snowflakes. You watch as each snowflake lands on the water, creating tiny ripples that fade almost instantly. The rhythm is hypnotic, soft, and perfectly aligned with the slow, steady beat of your heart. You feel every muscle relax, every thought soften, as though the city itself is singing you into a deep, peaceful sleep. From the far side of the bridge, the street rises slightly, lined with old townhouses and glowing windows. Smoke drifts lazily from chimneys into the cold night air, blending with the faint scent of pine and winter chill. You walk slowly, deliberately, letting each step match the quiet rhythm of the snow, the water, and the soft music that seems to drift across the city. The hush of the night wraps around you completely, and for the first time, you feel as if you could wander these streets forever, cradled in the serene embrace of Paris on a snowy winter night. The street opens slightly as you continue along the riverbank, revealing the quiet shimmer of the Seine under the moonlight. The water moves slowly, carrying subtle reflections of the lamps and rooftops above. Each ripple is delicate, hypnotic, a gentle cadence that matches the rhythm of your breathing. You notice how the snowflakes float down lazily, some landing on the water, some settling softly on the cobblestones. Each flake feels like a tiny whisper from the night, calming, tender, and slow. Ahead, a small square appears, bordered by softly glowing buildings. The rooftops are thick with snow, and smoke curls gently from the chimneys, fading into the quiet sky. You pause in the center of the square, listening to the subtle sounds of the city's distant footsteps, the soft rustle of branches, the faint hum of winter air. Everything feels still, yet alive, like the city is breathing gently with you. You take a slow, deep breath, letting the calm sink into your chest, your shoulders, your legs, every part of your being. On the edge of the square, you notice a small cafe, its windows fogged and glowing warmly from the light inside. Though it is closed for the night, you imagine the faint aroma of bread, coffee, and pastries drifting into the winter air. You picture someone inside, quietly enjoying a moment by candlelight, perhaps reading a small book or writing in a journal. The image feels intimate, safe, and peaceful, and you allow it to settle in your mind, a soft vignette of warmth amid the snow. You continue along the street, the cobblestones blanketed in fresh snow. Each step creates a soft, cushioned sound, perfectly in sync with your slowing breath. The buildings are tall but welcoming, with shuttered windows, frosted panes, and lamplight spilling gently onto the snow. You notice small details: a wreath hanging on a door, a lantern flickering softly, a balcony dusted in snow, tiny touches that remind you of care, thoughtfulness, and quiet domesticity. Every detail seems to whisper, encouraging your mind to slow, your body to relax. The street curves gently, leading you toward a narrow bridge over the river. The arch is dusted with snow, the railing glittering faintly with frost. You pause in the middle, leaning lightly on the cool stone, and watch the water flow below. Snowflakes land softly on the surface, creating ripples that shimmer briefly before fading. The motion is slow and rhythmic, soothing to watch, and you feel your mind follow the gentle flow, thoughts softening, tension dissolving, and your body sinking further into relaxation. Beyond the bridge, a narrow lane winds upward, lined with small townhouses. Their roofs are blanketed in snow, and chimneys send slow spirals of smoke into the crisp air. The windows glow warmly, illuminating the snow-covered streets with soft, golden light. You notice a cat perched on a windowsill, its tail curled neatly around its paws. It watches you briefly, then settles again into its warmth, and you feel a quiet smile of contentment, a small connection to this peaceful, living city. The lane opens onto a hidden square where a frozen fountain stands at its center. Icicles cling delicately to its edges, catching lamplight and scattering tiny reflections across the snow. You approach the fountain slowly, noticing the hush of the snow muffling every sound. You reach out, brushing a few flakes from the edge, feeling their delicate coldness before they melt instantly. The sensation is grounding, gentle, and calming, a reminder of the softness and impermanence of the world around you. A soft piano melody drifts from a nearby window, the notes rising and falling like gentle waves. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the music fill the quiet spaces of the square and the quiet spaces inside yourself. The melody weaves seamlessly with the rhythm of falling snow, the shimmer of lamplight on ice, and the distant flow of the river. You feel a profound sense of stillness, as though the city itself is breathing with you, lulling you into deeper calm. You continue wandering through the snowy streets, feeling lighter with every step. The lamplight and snow create gentle patterns around you, a soft, visual rhythm to accompany the music and the hush of the night. Your body is relaxed, every muscle softened. Your mind is calm, thoughts drifting like snowflakes on the breeze. The city feels like a gentle companion, walking quietly beside you, guiding you toward serenity and rest. The quiet street begins to widen gently as you walk, opening onto a broader avenue lined with softly glowing lampposts. The snow underfoot is thick and cushioned, muffling every sound, creating a sense of floating with each step. You notice the rooftops of the townhouses along the avenue, layered thickly in white, each one a quiet monument to winter's gentle hush. Smoke curls lazily from chimneys, disappearing slowly into the cold night sky, blending with the faint shimmer of stars. You breathe slowly, deeply, letting the calm of the city and the rhythm of your steps carry your body and mind further into relaxation. A small patisserie catches your eye, closed for the night, its windows frosted with ice crystals. You imagine the lingering scent of sweet pastries and fresh bread, and the soft, warm light spilling from within. Even in its sleep, the shop seems alive with gentle memories of warmth, laughter, and small delights. You pause for a moment, letting the thought settle in your mind like a comforting melody, the imagined aroma mingling with the crisp winter air around you. The avenue curves gently, leading toward a quiet square with a frozen fountain at its center. Icicles hang delicately from its edges, shimmering in the soft lamplight. Snow has piled in even drifts around its base, soft and untouched. You step closer, noticing the delicate patterns carved into the fountain, softened by frost. Each line and curve seems to whisper quietly, a story of time, of patience, of serenity. You take a slow breath, feeling the hush of the square seep into your chest, calming your heartbeat, slowing your thoughts. From nearby, a faint piano melody rises once more, its notes drifting through the air with a tender softness. The music blends seamlessly with the muffled crunch of snow underfoot and the gentle sway of branches above. You close your eyes, letting the rhythm of the melody sync with the gentle flow of your breathing. Your body feels heavier, more relaxed, and your mind softens with every note, letting go of tension and worry, sinking deeper into peace. Continuing along the square, you notice a narrow lane branching off, lined with small houses and warmly glowing windows. Snow clings to the rooftops and window ledges, and smoke drifts lazily from the chimneys above. You imagine quiet lives unfolding inside each home, someone reading, someone sipping tea, someone quietly watching the falling snow. The thought is soothing, reminding you of the gentle, unhurried rhythm of life that continues even in the stillness of the night. The lane curves softly, taking you toward a small bridge over the river. Leaning on the railing, you watch the water below, dark and smooth, reflecting the gentle lamplight. Snowflakes drift slowly onto the surface, creating tiny ripples that fade almost instantly. Each ripple feels like a tiny sigh of the night, gentle, soft, and calming. You breathe in deeply, letting your body sink with the slow rhythm of the river and the quiet hush of the city. From the bridge, you can see the rooftops of the townhouses stretching along the riverbank, dusted thickly with snow. Tiny dormer windows glow softly, casting golden squares of light onto the white streets below. A cat perched on a windowsill flicks its tail, settling back into warmth, and you smile gently at the quiet companionship of life. The city feels intimate, protective, and calm, as though it has slowed its pace just for you. You follow the path along the river, the snow crunching lightly beneath your feet. The lamplight casts long, soft shadows across the snow, creating a gentle dance of light and darkness. Every detail, the shimmer of frost on a branch, the curve of a snow-dusted roof, the distant flicker of lanterns feels like a lullaby, each element contributing to the soothing rhythm of the night. You take a slow breath, letting the calm fill every corner of your body, every corner of your mind. The river bends slightly, and you find a small bench tucked under a snow-laden tree. You sit slowly, letting the cold press gently against you, the surrounding snow cushioning your body, the hush of the city, the soft piano music drifting through the air, the slow, gentle flow of the river all combine to create a cocoon of peace. You feel your muscles relax completely, your mind drift into quiet stillness, your thoughts slow and soft, preparing you for deep, restful sleep. You rise slowly from the bench, feeling the snow beneath your feet crunch gently as you continue along the riverbank. The path curves softly, guiding you past snow-covered trees and softly glowing lampposts. Each step is deliberate, calm, and comforting, and the gentle crunch of snow underfoot becomes a steady rhythm that mirrors the slow beat of your heart. You breathe deeply, feeling the crisp winter air fill your lungs, then exhale, letting your shoulders drop and your muscles melt into relaxation. The avenue opens onto a quiet square where a frozen fountain sparkles beneath a single lamppost. Icicles hang delicately from its edges, catching the soft light and scattering tiny sparks across the snow. You pause to watch the interplay of shadows and reflections, the snow muffling every distant sound, creating a cocoon of perfect quiet. The scene feels timeless, as though the city itself has paused, holding its breath in gentle stillness. You allow the serenity to settle into your chest and spread outward, calming every part of your body. Nearby, a small cafe sits quietly with its windows fogged and glowing faintly. Though it is closed for the night, you imagine the warmth within, the soft clink of cups, the aroma of pastries and roasted coffee, and the quiet murmur of someone reading or writing. The thought is soothing, a tender reminder that warmth and comfort exist everywhere, even in the hush of winter. You continue walking slowly past the cafe, letting the imagined scene mingle with the crisp winter air, wrapping you in calm. The street curves gently, leading toward a narrow bridge over the calm river. Leaning lightly on the railing, you watch the water flow below. Snowflakes drift lazily onto the dark surface, creating tiny ripples that shimmer faintly in the lamplight. Each ripple is delicate, almost imperceptible, yet hypnotic in its rhythm. You take a slow, deep breath, letting your body and mind match the calm cadence of the water. Every muscle softens, every thought quiets, and you feel completely cradled by the serenity of the night. Beyond the bridge, a narrow lane winds upward between townhouses, their rooftops heavy with snow. Smoke curls lazily from chimneys, curling into the crisp night air and fading into the soft silver of the moonlight. Tiny details catch your eye: the curve of a balcony, a wreath on a door, a lantern flickering faintly. Each detail feels like a gentle reminder of care and stillness, inviting you to slow your pace, soften your thoughts, and sink even deeper into calm. The lane opens onto a hidden square where a frozen fountain sits in silence. Icicles cling delicately to its edges, glimmering softly in the lamplight. Snow has drifted into soft piles around the fountain, muffling all sound and creating a sense of cocooned peace. You step closer and brush a few flakes gently from the stone, feeling their soft coldness briefly before they melt. The sensation grounds you, drawing your awareness fully into the quiet rhythm of the night. Each small movement connecting you to the calm world around you. A soft piano melody drifts from somewhere nearby, weaving gently through the crisp night air. You close your eyes and let the music fill your senses, flowing into the empty spaces in your mind. The notes rise and fall like gentle waves, carrying the hush of the snowy streets, the shimmer of lamplight, and the quiet murmur of the river. Your body responds naturally, relaxing further, sinking deeper into the comforting rhythm, and you feel yourself perfectly cradled in the serenity of the city. You continue along the quiet streets, each step deliberate, slow, and mindful. Snow drifts softly around you, brushing your shoulders and hair, settling in light, crystalline patterns. The city seems alive, yet peaceful, every window glowing softly, every rooftop blanketed in snow, every lamppost casting gentle pools of golden light. Each step, each breath, each quiet observation feels like a small lullaby, easing your mind and body into a deeper sense of calm. At last, you come to a final small square by the riverbank, where a bench waits beneath a snow-laden tree. You sit slowly, letting the surrounding hush envelop you. The distant hum of the city, the soft fall of snow, the gentle glimmer of lamplight on the river, and the faint piano melody combine into a cocoon of tranquility. You close your eyes, breathing deeply, feeling every muscle release, every thought soften, and every heartbeat align with the gentle rhythm of the snowy night. Sleep feels near, effortless, and welcome, as if the city itself is singing you into rest. From your perch on the bench, you take a slow, deliberate breath, letting the crisp winter air fill your lungs completely. Each exhale carries away a little tension, a little thought that no longer serves your calm. The river before you glimmers quietly, reflecting the soft golden glow of lamps and the silver wash of moonlight. Snow drifts lazily onto its surface, creating tiny ripples that vanish almost as soon as they appear. Watching them, your mind begins to slow, thoughts softening into gentle clouds that drift effortlessly. The street beyond the square stretches softly, curving past snow-covered rooftops and softly glowing windows. Smoke curls from chimneys, blending into the silver gray of the night sky. Tiny details catch your eye: the delicate frost on window ledges, the curve of an old wrought iron balcony, the faint flicker of a lantern in a distant window. Each detail is gentle, tender, and grounding, like the city is whispering a lullaby just for you. You walk slowly, letting the soft illumination of lamplight guide your steps. Ahead, a narrow bridge spans the river, arched and dusted with snow. Leaning on the railing, you watch the water flow quietly beneath, carrying the soft reflections of lights and snowflakes. The gentle movement of the river is hypnotic, each ripple perfectly timed with your slow, steady breathing. You feel a profound sense of calm, as if the river itself is breathing in rhythm with you. Each sound, each movement, each subtle reflection deepens your relaxation, easing your body and mind into stillness. You continue along the riverbank, noticing how the snow softens every sound, creating a profound hush. The lamplight casts gentle shadows across the cobblestones, forming shapes that seem to dance slowly with the flicker of light. You take a slow step, then another, feeling your body move in harmony with the quiet rhythm of the night. The city feels protective, intimate, and gentle, like it has slowed down entirely to cradle you in serenity. Every muscle softens, every thought drifts, and your mind begins to float with the gentle current of the evening. A small alley draws your attention, lined with townhouses dusted in snow. The windows glow softly, and smoke drifts lazily from chimneys, curling into the cold air. You notice subtle details: a wreath on a door, a lantern flickering in a window, the delicate frost patterns on a rooftop. Each detail feels deliberate, gentle, and soothing, inviting you to slow even further and sink deeper into the quiet rhythm of the city. You step slowly through the alley, letting each footfall guide you toward stillness. The alley opens onto a hidden square where a frozen fountain stands quietly in the center. Icicles cling delicately to its edges, catching the lamplight and scattering faint glimmers across the snow. The snow here is thick and soft, muffling every sound. You approach the fountain, reaching out to brush a few flakes from the stone. Their cold touch is fleeting but grounding, a small, gentle reminder of the serene world around you. You step back, letting the hush of the square sink into your body and mind. From somewhere nearby, a soft piano melody drifts, rising and falling gently, perfectly synchronized with the quiet of the night. You close your eyes, letting the music fill the spaces inside you, easing away any lingering thoughts or tension. The notes seem to echo the rhythm of falling snow and the gentle flow of the river. Your body relaxes further, muscles softening completely, and a sense of warm, profound calm spreads through you. The city, the snow, the lamplight, and the music all combine into a slow, steady lullaby, carrying you closer to sleep. You continue along the snowy streets, moving slowly, deliberately, feeling every step blend seamlessly with the hush of the night. The lamplight illuminates small details: the curve of a railing, a window partially open, snow drifting across rooftops. Each sight is soft, tender, and soothing, guiding your mind to release all remaining tension. The air is crisp but comforting, the snow cushioned beneath your feet, and every sound is muted and gentle. You feel completely cradled by the serene, quiet city. At last, you come to a small bench tucked beneath a snow-laden tree. You sit slowly, letting the surrounding quiet wash over you. The distant hum of the city, the soft fall of snow, the shimmer of lamplight, and the faint piano melody create a cocoon of calm around you. You breathe deeply, feeling every muscle release, every thought soften, and every heartbeat align with the gentle rhythm of the snowy night. Sleep seems near, effortless, and completely welcome as the serenity of Paris cradles you softly in its arms. The bench beneath the snow-laden tree feels like a quiet island in the hush of the city. You sit back slowly, letting the cold of the stone mix with the warmth of your body, grounding you in the gentle stillness of the night. Around you, the snow rests thick and even, muffling distant sounds, softening every edge. The river glimmers faintly nearby, and each ripple seems to pulse with the rhythm of your own calm breathing. You take a long, slow inhale, letting the crisp winter air fill your lungs. Then exhale, letting your shoulders drop, your body sink deeper, your mind drift farther into serenity. From the square, the soft lamplight spreads across the snow, creating gentle golden pools that contrast with the silver blue of the moonlight. Tiny snowflakes drift lazily down, landing softly on your shoulders, eyelashes, and hair. Each flake is delicate, unique, and fleeting, yet it brings a sense of quiet presence, reminding you of the stillness and gentle rhythm of the world around you. You close your eyes briefly, feeling each flake like a whisper, a lullaby from the winter night. A narrow lane curves off from the square, inviting you to continue your slow wander. The rooftops are layered thick with snow, and smoke curls from chimneys into the calm, crisp air. The windows glow softly, as if each home holds its own little bubble of warmth and comfort. You walk slowly, deliberately, feeling each footfall cushioned by the thick snow. Every step, every breath, every subtle sound blends into the soft symphony of the city at rest. The lane opens onto a quiet bridge, arched gracefully over the calm Seine. Leaning gently on the railing, you watch the water flow below, dark and reflective, carrying delicate ripples caused by snowflakes falling from above. The river seems endless, slow, and comforting, as if it is carrying away any lingering tension in your body and mind. You breathe in rhythm with its motion, feeling your heart beat slow, your muscles release, your thoughts soften. The city around you is hushed and peaceful, a gentle cocoon wrapping you in calm. Beyond the bridge, the path winds through small streets lined with snow-dusted townhouses. Lamplight spills across the cobblestones in soft, golden rectangles, illuminating gentle details, the curve of a balcony, the faint shimmer of frost on a windowsill, the subtle drift of snow along a roofline. Each detail is like a soft brushstroke in a painting of quiet serenity, grounding your senses and slowing your mind. You feel lighter, calmer, and completely present in the hush of the winter night. From a nearby window, a faint piano melody drifts into the streets. Its notes rise and fall with gentle precision, carrying the quiet magic of the snowy city. You pause for a moment, closing your eyes, letting the melody weave through your body, calming every muscle, slowing every thought. It blends seamlessly with the soft crunch of snow underfoot and the distant murmur of the river, creating a lullaby perfectly tuned to the rhythm of your own breathing. The path curves again, leading you to another hidden square. Here, the fountain is frozen, icicles hanging delicately along its edges. Snow has settled thickly around its base, creating a soft, muffled surface that seems to absorb sound and stress alike. You step closer, feeling the hush deepen, and let your hands hover over the snow, brushing lightly across its surface. The touch is gentle and fleeting, grounding you in this quiet, perfect moment, connecting you fully with the serenity around you. You continue along the streets, following the soft illumination of the lamplight and the slow, steady rhythm of your steps. Snowflakes drift lazily, catching in your hair and eyelashes, falling like tiny whispers from the sky. The city is alive in the gentlest way, soft music, distant lights, the quiet flow of the river, but it is entirely at peace. You feel as though you are moving through a dream, a soft cocoon of snow, light, and sound that soothes every part of you, preparing you to drift deeper into rest. Finally, you arrive at a quiet bench by the riverbank, surrounded by gently falling snow and soft lamplight. You sit down slowly, feeling the cold give way to comfort as you lean back. The soft glow of the city, the gentle flow of the river, the hush of the streets, and the distant melody of piano all merge into a cocoon of tranquility. Every muscle relaxes, every thought softens, and you feel completely cradled by the serenity of this snowy Paris night. Sleep is near, effortless, and welcome, and you allow yourself to sink fully into its gentle embrace. The bench beneath the snow-laden tree feels like a quiet refuge in the soft embrace of the city. You settle in slowly, letting your back rest fully against the cold stone, while the surrounding snow seems to soften and cradle you. The river before you shimmers faintly, reflecting the lamplight and moonlight in delicate ripples. You take a deep, slow breath, filling your lungs with the crisp, clean winter air, and exhale, letting your body release any remaining tension, allowing a gentle calm to spread through every limb. From the square, lamplight stretches across the snow, creating soft, glowing patches that contrast beautifully with the silvery frost on rooftops and tree branches. Tiny snowflakes drift down gently, some brushing your shoulders, eyelashes, or hair before melting almost immediately. Each one feels like a whisper, soft and fleeting, carrying a quiet message from the night to your mind, coaxing it to slow and soften further. You close your eyes briefly, savoring the sensation of snow on your skin and the profound hush that surrounds you. A narrow lane leads off from the square, winding past snow-covered rooftops and softly glowing windows. Smoke rises slowly from chimneys, drifting lazily into the calm, crisp air. You notice the subtle details, the curve of a balcony railing, the gentle shimmer of frost on a windowsill, the soft drift of snow along the roof. Each element feels like a small, deliberate gift from the city, guiding your mind to a state of quiet awareness, slowing your breathing and softening every thought. The lane eventually opens onto a small bridge, arched gracefully over the still, dark river. Leaning gently on the railing, you watch the water below, flowing slowly, carrying reflections of lamplight and snowflakes. The gentle movement feels hypnotic, perfectly in rhythm with your own slow, steady breaths. You imagine the river carrying away tension and worry, leaving only calm in its wake. Each soft ripple echoes through your body and mind, deepening the sense of serenity that surrounds you. Beyond the bridge, the path curves through streets lined with snow-laden townhouses. Warm lamplight spills across the cobblestones, creating soft rectangles of golden light against the pristine white snow. Tiny details capture your attention: the delicate frost on a railing, a flickering lantern in a distant window, the curve of snow-dusted rooftops. Each observation grounds you further, slowing your mind and guiding your body toward deeper relaxation, as though the city itself is cradling you in gentle stillness. From a nearby window, a soft piano melody drifts into the streets. Its notes rise and fall like slow waves, blending seamlessly with the hush of falling snow and the gentle flow of the river. You pause, closing your eyes and allowing the melody to weave through your body, easing every muscle, softening every thought. The music aligns with your breathing, creating a gentle rhythm that carries you deeper into peace. The world feels small, safe, and intimate, a cocoon of calm, perfect for drifting toward sleep. The path curves again, leading to a hidden square where a frozen fountain stands in quiet beauty. Icicles cling delicately to its edges, catching the lamplight and scattering faint sparks across the snow. Thick, soft snow surrounds the fountain, muffling all sound and creating a sanctuary of hush. You step closer, brushing your fingers lightly across the surface, feeling the fleeting coldness that melts almost immediately. The sensation is grounding, connecting you fully to the quiet rhythm of the snowy night, a gentle anchor for body and mind alike. Continuing along the snow-covered streets, you feel the quiet of the city sink ever deeper into your body. Each step is deliberate and calm, your feet pressing gently into the soft snow, each sound absorbed by the muffling whiteness around you. Lamplight and moonlight create a slow, shifting pattern of shadows and soft illumination that dances quietly as you move. Every movement, every subtle sound, every breath is a lullaby in motion, guiding you gently toward rest. Finally, you arrive at a secluded bench by the river, tucked beneath a tree heavy with snow. You sit slowly, letting the surrounding hush embrace you completely. The river flows silently beside you, the soft shimmer of lamplight and moonlight glinting across the water. The distant piano melody mingles with the whisper of falling snow, the hush of the streets, and the gentle rhythm of the city itself. Your muscles release fully, your mind softens completely, and you feel completely cradled by this serene, snowy Paris night. Sleep is near, effortless, and entirely welcome. The bench beneath the snow-laden tree feels even softer now, as if the city itself has slowed to embrace you fully. You sit back gently, letting the cold stone press lightly against you while the snow around cushions your body. The river glimmers in faint silver and gold reflections, catching the lamplight and the moon's soft glow. You inhale slowly, feeling the crisp winter air fill your lungs completely, and exhale, letting the gentle hush of the city settle deep into your chest, your shoulders, your legs. Every part of you softens. Snow continues to drift slowly from the sky, each flake catching the light for a moment before melting almost imperceptibly on your skin. The sensation is delicate. You close your eyes briefly and feel each flake as a whisper, coaxing your mind to let go, to soften, to drift. The air smells faintly of pine, smoke, and winter chill, and it mingles with the soft hum of distant lamplight, creating a peaceful, cocooned atmosphere. The quiet streets stretch before you, lined with townhouses dusted in snow. Smoke curls lazily from chimneys, drifting upward in lazy spirals and blending into the soft silver of the night sky. You notice the small details, the frost patterns along window ledges, the faint flicker of candlelight in distant windows, the subtle drift of snow along the rooftops. Each detail is soothing, a reminder of quiet care and the gentle rhythm of life in the city. Your steps are slow, soft, deliberate, and every movement feels cushioned by the snow beneath your feet. Ahead, the narrow bridge arches gracefully over the calm river. Leaning lightly on the railing, you watch the water flow slowly beneath, reflecting tiny sparks of lamplight and the shimmer of snowflakes landing on its surface. Each ripple feels hypnotic, perfectly synchronized with your slow, steady breathing. You imagine the river carrying away any lingering tension, washing it downstream and leaving only quiet calm in its place. Your body feels lighter, your mind softer, and every breath carries you further into peace. Beyond the bridge, the street curves through small lanes lined with glowing windows and snow-covered rooftops. Lamplight spills softly across the cobblestones, illuminating the gentle contours of the city and guiding your path. You take each step slowly, noticing the subtle details, the rodier railing on a balcony, a softly glowing lantern, the faint shimmer of frost. Every sight grounds you, slows your thoughts, and deepens your sense of calm. The city itself seems to breathe gently, moving with you, keeping pace with your relaxed rhythm. From a nearby window, a soft piano melody drifts through the streets, rising and falling in perfect harmony with the quiet rhythm of the snowy night. You close your eyes, allowing the sound to seep into every corner of your awareness. Each note feels like a gentle wave, carrying tranquility and stillness. Your body responds naturally, relaxing even further, muscles softening completely, and your mind drifts alongside the melody, weightless and calm. The path curves gently again, leading you to a hidden square where a frozen fountain sits in quiet beauty. Icicles cling delicately to the stone, scattering faint reflections of lamplight across the snow. The thick snow around the fountain muffles every sound, creating a serene, cocooned space. You step closer, brushing your fingers over the icy edges, feeling the fleeting coldness as it melts. The sensation is grounding and gentle, anchoring you in the hush of the night, reminding you that you are fully present and completely safe. As you continue wandering, the soft crunch of snow beneath your feet blends with the hush of the city, the gentle hum of lamplight, and the faint piano melody. The streets are quiet and intimate, every detail, rooftop, window, lamplight carefully observed by your relaxed mind. Each movement, each breath, each drifting snowflake becomes a lullaby, carrying you ever closer to sleep. You feel your body sinking, softening, completely cradled by the serene, snowy city. Finally, you reach a secluded bench by the river, surrounded by gently falling snow and glowing lamplight. You sit slowly, letting the hush of the night wrap around you completely. The distant hum of the city, the soft fall of snow, the glimmer of lamplight on the river, and the faint piano melody all blend together into a gentle, soothing cocoon. Every muscle releases fully, every thought softens, and you feel cradled in perfect calm. Sleep approaches effortlessly, warm and gentle, as the snowy Paris night holds you safely in its embrace. You remain seated on the bench beneath the snow-laden tree, letting the hush of the night wrap around you like a soft blanket. The river flows slowly beside you, reflecting lamplight and moonlight in gentle, rippling patterns. Snowflakes drift lazily from the sky, landing softly on your shoulders, hair, and eyelashes. Each flake feels like a whisper, a tiny lullaby from the quiet night. You breathe deeply and slowly, feeling the crisp winter air fill your lungs, and exhale completely, letting every remaining trace of tension melt away. The streets around you are serene and almost timeless. Townhouses, blanketed in snow, line the avenues, their windows glowing softly with golden light. Smoke rises lazily from chimneys, curling into the silver-gray sky. You notice the small, gentle details, the curve of a balcony, the faint shimmer of frost on a railing, the soft drift of snow along rooftops. Each one is a tiny whisper of calm, a reminder of the gentle rhythm of the city and the quiet serenity that surrounds you. A soft piano melody drifts through the air once again, its notes rising and falling in perfect harmony with the hush of the snowy streets. You close your eyes and allow the music to flow through you, each note dissolving tension and carrying you deeper into relaxation. The melody blends seamlessly with the quiet fall of snow, the soft glow of lamplight, and the gentle murmur of the river. Your muscles release fully, your mind softens completely, and you feel weightless, cradled entirely by the serenity of the night. The snow continues to drift lazily, landing softly on the bench and the surrounding cobblestones. The lamplight casts gentle shadows across the snow, creating a slow, calming dance of light and dark. You take another long, slow breath, feeling the crisp winter air move through your lungs and relax every muscle it touches. With each exhale, your body sinks further into the soft embrace of the bench, the city, and the gentle hush of the snowy night. The river flows endlessly, slow and comforting, reflecting the city in a shimmering, dreamlike mosaic. Each ripple seems to echo the rhythm of your own calm heartbeat. You imagine it carrying away every thought or worry, leaving only quiet, still peace in its place. The snow, the lamplight, the gentle piano notes, and the quiet hum of the city combine into a cocoon of absolute serenity. You feel safe, warm, and deeply relaxed. The soft shadows and glowing lamplight wrap around you like a gentle hug. The distant piano continues its lullaby, perfectly synchronized with the quiet rhythm of your body and mind. Every breath, every heartbeat, every subtle sound of the city draws you further into comfort. You feel as though you are floating gently, weightless, supported by the hush of the streets, the shimmer of the river, and the stillness of the snowy night. Finally, you allow yourself to surrender completely to the moment. The hush, the snow, the river, the lamplight, the piano melody, they are all here to cradle you, to guide you into deep, restful sleep. You feel your eyelids grow heavy, your muscles soften completely, and your mind drift on gentle waves of peace. The city watches over you, silent and protective, holding you tenderly in its snowy embrace. As the music fades softly and the snow continues its quiet descent, you feel yourself drifting ever closer to sleep. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, and no need to think. You are simply here, surrounded by calm, warmth, and serenity. The snowy streets of Paris, the glowing lamplight, the flowing river, and the gentle hush of the night are your companions, lulling you into perfect, peaceful rest. Sleep comes gently now, slow and welcoming, carrying you into a dreamlike world of calm and stillness. You are cradled by the city, soothed by the snow, guided by the soft piano, and held in perfect quiet. Everything is still, Everything is safe. And now you are free to rest completely, floating peacefully through the serene, snowy night of Paris.